Many parents are clueless. They are confused as to which style of parenting should they follow.
That there is no right way of parenting.
We are bringing up entitlement kids. We are not allowing our children to face failures. So we are literally bubble wrapping them from any challenges. What happens in teenage is that they are exploring. They even go to a certain extent to do risky things.
We have seen a noticeable spike in the suicidal thoughts.
The information that the children are getting from the social media is unfiltered.
In a world chasing success, we chose to slow down, listen, and re-engineer from within. After 2 documentaries and 40 plus powerful stories that moved hearts worldwide, this is the Re-Engineered Club. Parenting is not about having all the answers. It's about showing up, even when you don't. As the backpacks fill up and the alarm clocks return, most of us prepare our children for another academic year. But how many of us pause and prepare ourselves? In this special back to school episode of the Re-Engineered Club, we have a very special guest, where we are not just talking about notebooks and uniforms. We are talking about mindsets. We are talking about values, and we are talking about parenting with awareness. Our guest today is someone who didn't just learn parenting from books, but through the lens of life. Please welcome Dr. Deepa Khemani, a dentist by qualification, an entrepreneur by experience, and a mother, and also a parenting coach by choice. So whether you are a parent gearing up for the school routines or someone who is navigating quiet chaos of raising a teenager, this episode is an invitation to pause, reflect, and realize how beautiful is parenting. Welcome, Deepa, to our show, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Madhu, for that lovely introduction. I'm happy to be here sharing my experience with all the parents who are a bit nervous and the children who are excited to get back to the school routine.
And before we start into getting deep diving into our deeper conversations and sharing the parenting strategies and all, my first question will be, let's get back. What made you to bring into this space of parenting coach?
It's a long story. By qualification, as I mentioned, that I was a dentist, but at heart always somewhere close to children. So I did take a sabbatical to raise my own kids who are now teenagers. So I felt that now it's time that I start my second innings. So from being a dentist to a deep parenting coach, from being treating patients to now helping the parents. I started in 2019 with the ABA course with behavior enrichment and did volunteer for some time at their institute. Also, I did try my hand at teaching baking, taking tuitions for children. But at the end of the day, when I started learning parenting for my own self, I realized that there is a huge gap. The parents are not able to understand their children, and on the other side, the teenagers and the other children feel that the parents don't know much about our world. And post-COVID, there was a lot of gap that was there, which I thought as a parenting coach, I could help the parents bridge.
Now, you mentioned what a beautiful journey you mentioned about that, and parenting is such a responsible, and becoming a parenting coach is another big responsibility that I must say it is. You are creating a very big impact by doing that. But saying so, you talk about conscious parenting. What is conscious parenting in very simple words?
Conscious parenting, or as I put it for my brand, deep parenting, is all about reflecting on your own journey as an individual. See where you can heal yourself, and then with awareness Try to connect with your child rather than controlling. You are raising a different individual. So, when you have worked on your own patterns and you have healed yourself, imagine the beautiful journey you will have with your own child.
It's beautiful, Deepa, but I want to see, like, when we were growing up, right? It was a very simple parenting word, but now we have so many different categories of parenting. So, how this kind of all parenting is different than the conservative parenting that our parents used to do?
You're very right that these days we have a lot of different types of parenting that have come up, like permissive parenting, authoritative, helicopter parenting, which were non-existent when we were growing up. Having said that, what is different today is that the parents are learning. They are trying to imbibe what's new and which is the need of the hour as well. In earlier days, we had a village. The village, what I mean is, we had relatives, we had grandparents. Today, we are living in a nuclear family. Most of us are living abroad. So, we don't have that support system. So, this new parenting is when you go about, learn, and then
Yeah, so this new parenting, what you said, as you beautifully said, there is a village or the ecosystem that was taking care of the a child for the child development. But now, being in a nuclear family and that too when working parents, the biggest challenge that you have faced, or when you do counseling to the working parents, what are the biggest challenges they are facing as a working parent?
there are many challenges the working parents are facing. One of them is the guilt that they are not able to give enough time, quality time to their child, and which eats into their consciousness. Now, the second thing that comes to me when they come is how do they set boundaries? Because at times they feel helpless. So, here, when the newer challenges are coming up as parents and when they don't find solutions, that is when it is advisable that they seek a professional help to help move them to a better territories.
So, first you said is about the guilt, definitely. That is the first one. And second is setting boundaries.
And third one, many parents are clueless. They are confused as to which style of parenting should they follow. There is a lot of information there on the social media. You should go this way or that way. So when parents try one method, they fail at the other. And then they don't have the clarity which is the right one for them. Here, I tell all the parents is that please follow your own instincts.
Beautiful. And I think this is what is required, the parents having faith and trust that there is no right way of parenting. There is their own way of parenting. And when you say guilt, that is, I think, majority of us as a parent go through, especially working moms or moms who are very aspiring in their careers. They always have that mom guilt of not doing enough for their child, not doing enough for their family. Do you think, like, when such working moms approach you, what is the advice, or what is the first thing you tell them?
Working moms are handling two worlds at the same time. So the first thing I tell them is deep breathe and relax. Please don't get into any kind of guilt. With the resources you have, with the time you have, with the energy you have, with the knowledge that you have, you are doing the greatest job. Yes, if you feel you're lacking somewhere, then definitely there are skills which can be learnt. And then try to increase the communication with your own child. Take out those times during the day and then connect with your child. Now, I always tell the parents there is a rule of three. That is, 3 times in a day, for 3 minutes, at least hug your child. Now, when you do that, the neuroscience says that oxytocin is released. The child feels the bond. Hug your child, kiss your child. Especially, first thing, getting up in the morning and the last before going to the bed. And you'll see the difference in your relationship by magic.
Just 3 minutes, which is like 3 into 3, just 9 minutes in 24 hours. More than enough to
No.
start this process.
You can start with this, make it a ritual in your house to start your day by hugging your child. When you do that, you are giving the reassurance to the child that yes, my parents are there for me.
Yes, and such a simple step, as you said, like 3 times, 3 minutes in a day, in 24 hours, everyone can do it, right? So start with small steps rather having a heavy routine on your schedule that do this, do that, right? So this simple steps really help in becoming guilt free.
Absolutely. You have to start somewhere, and this is a simple thing to start with, and it's proven by science. As I mentioned to you, the kind of chemicals that are released, they reduce the stress of your child.
And saying that, have you ever faced any parents guilt dad? We have seen many guilt moms, but what about guilty dads coming to you for counseling?
Yes, they have. They do come to me saying that they want to spend more time with their children, take them out for activities, but the stress of the work is what puts them away. Now, here I tell them there is something called as a balance. They can definitely, if they try to put it in their schedule. For fathers, I would just say if you can prioritize your family as much as your work, things would be much better.
And do they have also 3 by 3 rule for them?
Absolutely, I said parents.
Yeah, because every time I have, in our experience, we have seen mom coming in with that guilt, right? Like, I have not done this for my child. But I've seen very rare parents talking about, like, they are guilty of not spending. But now, as you said, we are getting aware. Both the parents are getting aware and taking equal responsibility. But saying that, how their external factors as a working parents, both husband, wife, their stress levels, their long working hours, their pressure, and their all kind of job pressures, external, internal, how it impacts actually a teenager development.
If I have to say, not only teenagers, but children in general sense if there is any stress that is there in the parent's life, be it on the professional front or the personal front. Giving you an example here, I had a 11th grader student who wouldn't open up. But I sensed there was something wrong which the parents were not sharing with me. When I gave a one-to-one session to the child broke down in 5 minutes saying that my dad has lost the job. So, the further plans that are going on in the house is that I would be probably shifted back to India with my grandparents to pursue my education, which I don't want. So this was weighing down on the child. So yes, the environment in the house does affect the teenagers, be it related to the job as we are living in UAE, or that could be even the health challenges of any senior citizens that are there at home.
So in this case, the example that you gave, so in this case, as parents, we always have to set boundaries on which information we should share, which information we shouldn't share. So do you think oversharing with the kids also impact, or not sharing, or what kind of information sharing should be there as this, or set as a limit when we share with our children?
With respect to teenagers, as I mentioned in the example, she was a grade 11 student. Definitely sharing information is good. But here what I found missing was that it was not shared directly. The plan in the house was not communicated well by the family sitting down and discussing that, okay, we have this challenge that has come up, and what are your thoughts on this? Teenagers are always happy to, share their ideas, to tell you maybe some different solutions. So I would say that share it with the family, with the children. If they are older enough, if you feel that your child is matured enough to understand things, take them into confidence and then take a decision. Then it will be called as a collective family decision, wherein the child also understands that there is nothing called as ideal circumstances, and in this way you are actually preparing the child for real life challenges.
Beautiful. And that is how they also feel involved, right? Like, we don't have to hide things and always show the rosy pictures to them. They should also, in such a dynamic world where we are seeing like everything is unpredictable, and they should be also equally exposed to good things and bad things. And I have, like, in my life also, I have seen my parents telling me that this I'm doing for good for yourself. The same thing I also say my son, like, I am doing this because this is good for you. Do you think there is some hidden parental ego, or actually this is something like generational advice that we keep giving to them? I'm doing this because this is good for you.
There are two perspectives to this. If a parent is saying this, that I know what's good for you, now I would take it as correct in one sense, and that is the prefrontal cortex in humans gets developed by early 20s. So if a parent thinks that a particular decision is important and can be taken in the best interest of the child, good, go ahead. The other side to it is that sometimes the parents project their own fears, failures, ambitions onto the child. Now, that is when the parent needs to stop, get into awareness. Where am I heading to? Is this my concern or is it my projection? And then go ahead.
Yeah, you said that, all these factors actually impact, and especially most importantly, the unfulfilled dreams of parents, and they try to impose it onto their kids. Is it a good thing, or where we should have a limit of telling what is good for them? And because they themselves know, right? Or what is the set limit we have to see, or what is the kind of approach that we should do by telling, okay, this is good for you? We always love our children, right? We all love our children, and we always want good for them. But till when? And what is that point? And what you advise to your clients, to the parents?
I always advise open communication. Parents always have the best interest at heart for all their children. Having said that, sometimes unconsciously we are projecting our ambitions onto them. Now, here, when you sit down and have an open discussion with the entire family that this is what I am wanting. Let's say, for example, a parent wants the child to become a doctor. You sit down, and when the parent expresses the desire and says, these are the reasons, or probably these are the qualities that I see in you, that you will be good to become a doctor. Now, the child may have his or her own thoughts, his or her own strengths. And I always advise that everybody should play on their strengths. Choose a career, choose a profession that wherein you have to put least effort and you get maximum output. Because if you're struggling with your career, in some way or the other, it is going to spill over into your relationships.
Yeah, and identifying strength, as you rightly pointed out, is a very good technique to make a collective decision, and also capitalizing on what you need to improve, right? So identifying both your strengths and your weakness, not weakness, but areas for improvement, rather say. So what is one technique to identify a child's strength?
I do fingerprint analysis, which is called as the DMIT, which is dermatoglyphic multiple intelligence test. And with the help of fingerprints, I am able to understand what is the personality of the child, what is the strengths, what are the learning styles, what could be the potential career options, what could be the hobbies. Now, it's kind of a roadmap or a GPS which I share with the parent. This can be done for any child 3 years upward, and this way, not only the communication gets better when you understand your own child's personality, the bond, the harmony that increases, the gelling that happens is truly amazing.
And have you seen, like, if you can share any emotional story that you have seen in your experience? one of the child, like, whom you have really worked on and you have seen the difference before and after?
Definitely, there are many which I can share. But this child um, came to me when she was 17 years old. She is an expat and was in grade 12 into different wrong habits. And definitely, as most mothers would agree with me, that the biggest challenge during these times happens with the mothers because they want to correct the child or guide the child in the right direction. So we worked a lot on on her habits, on her communication, and the things took a little more time. After 3 months, the child was free from all the habits, the wrong habits, and not only that, but the relationship with mother improved to a great extent. If I have to quote it in the terms, of the child, from 3 it went to 9, and that is what makes me go towards this profession as a parenting coach. Because if I can make a difference in the relationship, in the families, this is what gives me peace of mind.
Beautiful. And what do you think was one of the most driving factor behind this? Was the communication?
Yes, there was the communication as well as the child had got into wrong company. What happens in teenage is that they are exploring. They even go to a certain extent to do risky things. They want to see what's working, what's not. And as parents, it's our instinct to safeguard our children from everything that is bad. So here it was a case of identity exploration where probably the child was not allowed, not even to voice out at home. There were many other factors that were there in the play, like the parental relationship, the parent child relationship. So I had to work on many dimensions all in one. That is why I say I work on a 7-layer framework when parents come to me. So when I worked in all these dimensions, I could see the change.
And what are the 7 layers?
See, it starts from awareness when the parent comes to me. Um, Generally, what happens is they come with a certain issue, but the challenge lies somewhere else.
The root cause.
Yes. So the root cause of a behavioral challenge, let's say, for example, anger. I've heard even a 4-year-old's mother saying he gets angry at the shortest thing. Now, they come with anger issue of the child, but when deeper evaluation is done, the issue could be, that the father or the mother shows those anger things. The child is never talked to politely, or it is some other elder in the house who is an authoritative figure. The child is learning. The child is like a sponge. So it's absorbing, it can absorb from anywhere. Even if you are doing the right parenting, it could be somewhere from the school. It could be where the child is going for extracurriculars. So we really need to identify where is the root cause and work on that.
So child reflects or mirrors what parents are doing. So first is the awareness and then identifying the root cause. What is the second other 6 layers?
I wouldn't go into detail right now about them. Let the parents approach me and then
Absolutely.
I can lead them through it.
But the first thing is awareness.
Absolutely.
Right? And then identifying the root cause, and this is how your expertise comes into picture where you are helping them. And one thing that you mentioned just now is about teenagers exploring and saying that they come up with some ideology of just becoming or looking cool, right? So that's how, if you see the statistics right now, the exposure of teenagers into vaping, into trying alcohol and all that has been increased. Maybe it's not intentional, but it's about the peer pressure or whatever situation can be. But saying that, what are the things that as a parent we should be taking care of or having an eye on it or being disciplined, or what is the best way to have a safe space for the kids where we don't become judgmental but create a safe space so that we address it properly?
Teenagers by nature want to explore a lot, and these things are coming up easily available in the market. The narrative that is being built is such that if you don't try this, if you don't do it, then you are missing out on something. Now, to look cool, to fit in, the teenagers are going ahead and in unawareness, just to try, they are getting into these kind of habits without realizing the detrimental effects it has on their body. As parents, the first thing that you need to do is sit down with them. You need to prepare yourself how you're going to communicate. Now suddenly, let's say for example, a teenage guy, boy of 16 years comes home drunk, and the parent discovers a vaping thing in the pocket as well. Now, what do you think would be the first instinct? The parent would get mad,
Scream and shout, yeah.
scream and shout. Now you have to understand that this is not the right way. First, let things settle down. I know, parents get a shock of their life. My kid, they can't do it, but they have done it, so parents get a shock. Now here, let that settle down. Then, when you find an appropriate time, sit down and ask the child what made you do it. What more information you have about it. Let's have a discussion whenever you want. In this way, you're giving space to your child instead of judging, screaming, and shouting. Nobody likes it. Definitely, when the child sees that I was not punished, I was not screamed at, that my parents really want the good of me, the child will come back and explain you, oh, it was one of the instances. Oh, this is the person, we just sat down and tried it. It was just once, or whatever reason. Or if the teenager is really going through some challenge like bullying or something, then they will open up. When they give you the real reasons, then you can actually work upon them and bring your child out of that mess.
So, I know this is very good, but is this the ideal way or practical way? Because as a behavior of parents, like we always say that, okay, we get into the state of shock and we do it, right? So this is one of the reactive approach that you said once we find out. Anything that is a preventive approach we can take, like educating the child before all this, they get into all this?
Yes, education is important. Sitting the child down and explaining what actually is vaping, because social media, the information that the children are getting from the social media is unfiltered. They have just, the information is the same for a 5-year-old as well as a 15-year-old. So they don't know which one is for them. So sitting down the child and with the parent's own experience and maturity, explaining the child, let's say the difference between smoking and vaping, which is more detrimental, substantiating yourself with the facts and figures, again from the internet, and showing them. Probably you can even take the child to the pulmonologist for a visit, who can actually give all the medical reasons, explaining the child how harmful can it get. And we also, a parent can sit down and say, look, this is your growing up age. Your body does not need all this. And trying to identify what can be done. Let's say a particular day, a girl goes out for a party, and she finds the environment uncomfortable. They are probably serving something which she is not comfortable taking. You can, as parents and children, develop a code. Hey dad, come and pick me. So working around your relationship with your teenagers is very important. And let me tell you, it does not start when your child hits the teen. It starts as early as when you think of conceiving.
Oh, beautiful. So it starts from the source itself, from the beginning. Yeah. But saying that, like, what these are all advisory we are giving to the kids and to the teenagers especially. But what if we don't practice? What if I'm telling that, okay, many parents say that, okay, we take them to visit doctors or to educate them, that's showcasing. But if any one of the parent is into alcohol or any one of the parent is smoking, and when they step out of the room of their house or the home, and they see the society, also in society there are many smokers, how does that impact or play a role?
Yes, that's a very good question. If you have any parent into any such vices, let's say alcohol on regular basis at home, or smoking or vaping, it becomes a little difficult. No two thoughts about that. But then again, at least educate your child about it. If the father is doing it, the mother can take a stand and say that, look, this is something which is not good for your health. And then you can have some positive role models placed in the life of the child, whom the child can talk to or model. In parenting, the golden rule is you have to be the role model for your child. And all parents come to me saying that this is the toughest job to do.
Yeah.
To mind your words, to mind your habits. uh, but let me tell you, it's a one time life investment. If your child moves on the right track following your positive habits, you've done an amazing job for life.
Beautiful, and it's a big responsibility, and it's, as you said, one time life investment and achievement also, right? You feel so proud when you see, like, you have helped someone, your child rise into a beautiful human being. Forget about academics and all that, but raising a child and making a human being is also a big achievement, right? It's one of the biggest achievement. And have you faced any scenario where parents have faced a challenge, like, in your experience, or any parent that have actually challenged you, or saying that, no, I am good enough parent, but actually you have advised them for change?
Just recently, mother thought that she was doing a fantastic job at parenting, and most mothers feel that they are doing parenting single-handedly when the fathers are out there, at work. There are First thing I would like to tell all mothers is that by nature, the mothers have natural instincts to parenting. So let's accept it, let's acknowledge it, and let's be proud of it.
We are way ahead than the father.
Yes, biologically we are made in such a way. It's biologically. Now, rather than going against the nature, why not use those strengths? The mother can use her natural maternal instinct in raising, and the strengths that a father has can also be used to raise the child, instead of fighting over why doesn't the father think like a mother. Number one. And number two, yes, parents do face challenges. As I mentioned, a mother came to me thinking that she was doing a perfect job, but slowly and steadily I made her realize that her own anxiousness was causing challenges for her children. Her own tone, pitch, volume was being difficult for her children to take. It was a little challenging initially for her to accept this, but when I gave her a lot of examples from the conversation that I was having with her, she realized that she could change, and that small change would bring about a bigger impact in the home environment.
And I think, Dr. Deepa, you are doing wonderful by finding out the root causes and then amending it so that you can stitch in the entire family together. And that's a beautiful job, bringing harmony within the family by identifying the actual cause of a problem. And who is more difficult to handle? Parents, or a child for coaching? When you are into parental coaching, who is difficult to handle, parents or the kids?
Sometimes it's the parents, sometimes it's the children as well. They can take you for a ride. So you yourself also have to be well prepared and in awareness when you're taking a session with them. Having said that, yes, there are times when uh, parents are difficult because they feel they are doing the best, but they don't know. Unconsciously, they are projecting their fears onto the child, or even as simple as the words. You know, I had a parent who unknowingly was using the word copycat for her child. She was just using it, but she didn't realize the detrimental effects of it in the long run, uh, regarding the creativity that the child would have. So just simple labeling your child, just be in awareness what words you are using, because your words form the inner voice of your children.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking, like, we just label them out of love. Like for me, I've just given an example. Like I used to call my son Chomu, Motu, like that, because he's healthy, and he keeps telling, "Amma, I'm going for fitness. I'm going for football." Like one time, two time, three time, then I could see the irritation that it brings when you keep calling. Maybe you. Then I explained to him like this is out of love, but he said that no, I don't like it. So I think instead of feeling bad, we should respect that.
When we are just using it out of love, also, let's do it in awareness. Sometimes our words become their internal world, and as you mentioned, probably you just said out of love, motu, but then that can become a deep wound for the child going forward, thinking that my own parents body shame me. What about the world? Now, here, how can you go forward repairing it? You sit down with your child, explain, I just said it out of love, but henceforth, I understand that you are working hard. I just want you to be fitter and healthier. Any parent's goal is that. And if you need any help from me to support you in this journey, I am with you. Now, these words will become the golden lines of a child's life.
Just beautiful. You know what? The way you said transformed that the love and expressing that in their language and they understanding, yes, the meaning and also what you meant, right? It's so beautiful and it's so significantly important these days. I think what you explained me exactly, he came and said that, okay, don't body shame. Okay. And he becomes irritated when anyone says something related to that word, right? So amazing. I think this is the beauty of becoming a parental coach, and you are creating a roadmap on how you can bring everyone together, and you are handling so many expat parents and you are coaching them. What is the most challenging thing as an expat parent they are facing in today's world?
You are asking me with respect to parents or with respect to teenagers?
With respect to parents. So, parents in today's world, as the expat population, what we have over here in UAE, what is the biggest challenge they face as a parent?
The first thing that parents face is the communication breakdown, as I mentioned. And parents feel, is it such a big task? We communicate, we are talking to the child. But then when your child actually needs you, are you really giving them those big listening ears without questioning? Because children just don't need solutions. Sometimes they just need someone to hear them out. They don't even want solutions. Just be there for me is all they want. They have identity challenges. They are exploring their bodies. They are exploring their inner world. So give them that space. Now, a parent came to me saying that my child, who till now would not close doors, and now they want the doors closed and they want me to knock in and come. So I was like, let's do it. There is no harm in it.
Yes, exactly.
The only thing is, tell your child not to lock the door.
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't lock the door, but it's okay to knock in and go. Probably they are in their world. They've had a bad fight with somebody, and in their mind, they are trying to figure out how to come out of it. They don't want solutions, as I mentioned. They want to do it by themselves. So we have to trust our child on that and give them that kind of space. The second thing the parents are feeling challenged is about the social media. They don't know how to set the correct boundaries. And if they are setting, they are failing at it. They don't know why, what's happening, and then sets in the rebel from the child, wherein they take away the gadget and there is a total chaos and commotion at home. So these are, according to me, two big challenges that are there. Another one in line, which I am also concerned about, is the going down of resilience in children. This is something which is happening because we are bringing up entitlement kids. We are not allowing our children to face failures. So we are literally bubble wrapping them from any challenges. So these are the three major challenges, according to me, that the parents are facing in today's times.
And the third one, as you said, is very critical. They always want to win. And they have multiple resources and easily available, which we as parents give them. So in this case, is it good, or is it what is good and what is bad as a parent? We should do it.
I understand that we parents have had humble beginnings, so we want to give anything and everything to the child, but we should follow certain rules. So if your child comes asking you for an iPhone, the latest one, just because the school friend has it, that doesn't mean that you will also give it. Yes, by God's grace, you have abundance, but then sit down with your child and talk about needs and wants. Let's follow something called as not instant gratification, but delayed gratification. Now, ask the child what can they do, to get that iPhone.
To achieve that.
Yes, to earn it,
Yes.
To earn through the efforts that are made, Instead of
Just
having
giving them.
instant gratification, let them follow a ritual of gratitude. That when they understand, when they respect that, yes, these resources are for us, but at the right time they will be given to us, then they will understand that, we need to earn it. Now, how do you build resilience in your children? Allow them to fail. We are proofing them around so that they don't face anything. But then going out into the real world, which is not going to be as nice as the parents. So let them fail earlier in life. Help them understand how to bounce back.
It's very good to see, but do you think our current educational system, our current ecosystem, our current societal impact, or whatever system we have in a society actually support failure? With a simple example, we always in school we award the toppers. In WhatsApp group, whoever is coming first in a class, we always say congratulations to their parents, good work. And saying where as a society we are giving them a platform for failures.
I will ask you a question back here from my own life experiences. Those students who are backbenchers in my own school are doing much, much better in life, and yet they have enjoyed the school life as well, getting punishments, enjoying all the periods to the fullest, teasing, laughing, thoroughly enjoying their life. That is missing. And yes, our educational system does not accolade failures. But having said that, what can we do? What small change can we bring into our own house? Can we stand up and clap for our child who comes third, acknowledging the efforts that the child has made? Can we accepted the fact that my child is not good in academics, but she's artistically inclined? Can we accept that, okay, my child is not good in sports, but in communication, she's doing very well?
So start celebrating at home itself instead of waiting for the society or systems or education.
Your child is your responsibility. Everything starts from home.
And but don't you think also schools, universities play a major role in this?
Yes, they do. I wouldn't disagree on that because a good 6 to 7 hours a child spends in school. Now, if I flip it saying that we have to even prepare our child for the competitive spirit, let the child give in the best efforts at least. In whatever area, academics are equally important. They are shaping you and building you in one way or the other. So let's not put that down and encourage our child in whatever they are doing best. And we can communicate that to the teachers and the school as well. Now imagine, instead of keeping quiet, if a parent knows that my child is not good in academics and goes and tells the teacher that I am not worried about the academics because my child is participating in the swimming competitions at the UAE level, how would the teacher respond? And this is a real life example.
Beautiful. And this builds confidence, right? And this is how we create an ecosystem for the child to grow.
Absolutely. Um, Everything is a teamwork. If I say you talking about the school, if you are making the teacher aware of your own intentions, your child's strengths,
They will
then
support.
they will also support you.
We have seen a noticeable spike in the suicidal thoughts and thoughts within teenagers. Do you think it's very alarming to see such kind of spike in the statistics of teenagers thinking about suicide and all? So do you think social media has an impact and is playing a bigger role for this?
Yes, absolutely. If I have to talk about statistics, then taking your own life or suicide is the fourth highest among the teenagers, the way going ahead. And even in UAE, there has been an uptick on such instances. And one of the biggest cause is social media. Now what happens is the algorithms are to be blamed. Once the child maybe by accident has clicked on something, the algorithm picks it up. It could be some reel related to suicide. And then there is another thing which has been observed is that post midnight these kind of depressive reels go on and on. If a child probably maybe facing just some anxiety, if you on regular basis are watching these kind of reels, definitely this is going to impact your mindset, leading you to take some extreme steps. So I urge the parents, to look out for those finer withdrawal symptoms in your children, probably like locking themselves in the room, socially distancing themselves from the family and friends. And if you feel, parents, the gut instincts work the best. If you feel any of these, please seek out external help.
Yeah, it's very much important because such we should be aware of all these red flags, like within our children. But saying so, like as a parent, what are the three steps that we should be very be alert in watching the behavior?
As I mentioned, children who are undergoing any kind of stress, their academics will go down drastically. Their time in the washroom will be much more because they want to lock themselves up and, let's say, watch those kind of stuff again and again, or just think sitting there. They isolate. Their aggression is to the next level. uh, Let it be it verbally or even physically at times. The teenagers are so strong that they can even push their parents, and many such cases have been reported, where they have pushed the mothers. And it's really upsetting. So these are certain red flags, which the parents should be on the lookout if your child is excessively on the social media. Having said that, before you even hand out social media, please set boundaries. When you have set those boundaries, stay firm on them. You know, make them aware that how these kind of scrolling can be detrimental to their mental health, how using excessive AI can literally rot their cognitive abilities.
And these days, AI is more kind of a communication channel to them rather than like they are coming and asking a human being, at least to the parents. I think AI has become a substitute. So the number of questions that has been asked to ChatGPT is more than the number of questions they come and parents and ask parents. Do you think the evolving of artificial intelligence and so many chatbots there is actually creating a communication gap?
Yes, it is creating a communication gap, that is for sure. It's creating laziness, it is decreasing the cognitive abilities, it is reducing the creativity. Having said that, what can we do as parents? Now, parents need to understand and explain to the child that AI is a tool. Let's use it as a tool. Now, if you've got a car, for example, you're not going to use that car everywhere. If it's a walkable distance, you'll go walk up and do the errands. Similarly, AI is a tool. Don't use it anywhere and everywhere. Having said that, again, I would say that sit down. If the child is using AI to find out the answers even before they self reflect on the questions, sit down with the child and say, okay, these are the answers. Can you add to this? What more can you bring out? What different can you do about it? Now, instead of criticizing here, you are creating and holding the space for the child to bring out the creativity naturally. That helps build connection with the child, apart from giving them that confidence that yes, I too have greater skills within me.
And also giving the creative angle and thought process so that they think out of box. And how important in a 24-hour schedule as a family, what all tiny things that we can do as a family to help building up in the communication and improve the bonding? Any simple tips that you can say that as a family what we can do together to improve this communication and enhance the family bonding?
Generally, parents ask the children when they come from school, how was your day? That's a very mundane question, no child wants to answer. Especially teenagers, they will want to finish it off with a one word, okay,
Okay.
good, fine. Get creative in asking, which teacher's leg did you pull the most? You'll see a big smile on their face and they'll come up with the best stories what they have done in the class. Or what was the fun moment? What did you do in the break? To whom did you play a prank on? Ask such questions to get inside the world of the child. It can be at the dinner table, if it is a working parent, over the phone in the afternoon. Now you've already established that rapport with your child, that the child is happy and eagerly awaiting your return from the office to give you further details. And when you sit down at the dining table, as a rule, I said, you have to be the role model. Keep your phone aside. Keep your phone aside and say, this is a time when we are just going to have some fun, crack some jokes, and also enjoy the food, giving gratitude. Now, these are the simple things. What if a parent does, the child will follow.
And what anything that we can do in the starting of the day when we are all getting up and getting ready to go to office and kids getting ready to go to school?
Early in the morning, a big tight hug is the first thing I also do to my kids when they come, hug them when they come to the kitchen, even teenagers. Many parents come and tell me that for my teenager, they will shrug me as like, no, go try it out. You are assuming. That's the biggest mistake that you're doing. They need you. Maybe once or twice, if they push you aside, please don't take it too hard. Go ahead, you hug them. You tell them that they are important in your life, they are loved, and that you are there for them no matter what. Trust me, these words, these are magic golden words. If you speak to your children, or not only them, but you will also have a good start to the day.
Beautiful. I think that is the biggest myth that majority of mother or parents have, like hugging. Even I don't remember my mother hugging me ever. Like for them, it's like no. Even though they want to, they don't want to express that love. But I think being in the modern parenting, we should embrace all this. Like small things really brings big difference.
Yes, understanding what is the love language of your child is also very important. Is it the words of appreciation? Is it those physical hugs? Or a small gift when you're going to the supermarket? You know, or in any other way, when you observe your child and feel that this is what makes my child happy, just do it.
And in your experience, anything that you have seen teenagers wish that their parents should know to be trendy like them, like be it the lingo language or whatever. So what are the three teenager, like the wishes that teenagers wish that their parents should be also knowing about it to be in the same wavelength?
I'll give you an example here. Many parents dismiss the teenage lingo, saying that it's funny, it's crazy. You know, this is the worst thing that you can do to your child, because what happens is over a period of time, the child closes down the communication, builds big walls around, and they will not let you enter. On the contrary, if you tell, I heard in my office somebody was talking about orbiting. But according to me, orbiting was only, the planets orbiting the
Planets, huh,
sun. Can you help me understand? Now, when you are curious rather than controlling, the child would be happy to explain you what actually orbiting means in the teen language.
What is orbiting? You have it.
See, there are many words I'm going to tell, and I'm not going to reveal it because I want my parents who are listening to this podcast to go and find it out for themselves.
Yeah, let's start with the top five.
The breadcrumb. No, the common ones are skibbity,
Skibbity.
riz. Okay, then you have there are something called as situationship, which we are not aware of. Orbiting, breadcrumbing. These are all aura farming, aura.
Oh, even I don't know all this.
Yeah, that is why I said I am not going to give you the answers, even though I have. I want to create that curiosity, and I really want parents to go out and search up the meaning of these words, because this will help them connect with their teenager better. Now, coming back to the example that I was giving, if a parent approaches a teenager in this way, now this shows the curiosity, the humor. Now the child will not only explain the meaning, you have got entry ticket into the child's world. Next time, the child will definitely come to you if they are facing any challenge and say, hey dad, how can I figure this out? Can you just help me?
Keep orbiting.
Yes. Keep orbiting.
So it's so beautiful. Actually, that eases the communication, and they both feel like they understand each other. It's beautiful. And apart from another challenge also that we face as a woman, like as woman mother, it's like the biological clock, the hormonal clock. So what we go through when we are evolving, like we hit the premenopause stage, and our children also hit puberty, and there is always the emotional outrage because of hormonal imbalance. So how to navigate this?
Oh, firstly, I call this phase as double volcano phase. And that is becoming very common
Because
as
it's a heavy intensity, yeah.
As mothers who are in the perimenopausal phase, they have mood swings, night sweats, anxiety, and you know, they are sitting in the bathroom and crying. And on the other hand, the doors are slamming, and nobody knows what to do. Here, you know, both parents, I mean, the parent and the child are facing chemical changes in their body. Coming to the girl first, if it's a girl child, the mother and the daughter can sit down and say, hey, I am facing these issues which are perfectly normal. Similarly, you are facing, it's fine. Let's support each other on this journey. Create some kind of a code. Hey, when I get cranky, don't mind it. When you scream at me for
Give
no
me
reason,
space.
I'm also going to chill.
Yeah.
So, understanding is something which is very important, and this will also improve your bond because both of you are navigating the normal body changes. Now, something which is left out is the boys. They also have challenges, when all of a sudden their voice starts cracking.
The hormonal
Yes,
changes
they are
happens,
also
yeah.
having. This is less spoken of, but even they need the support. And that is when the dads can come into the picture. And in their own ways, because they have gone through it, so they can understand the boy much better, and saying that yes, it is a passing phase. Now, to give you an analogy here, many a times you would have heard parents saying teenagers are terrible. I say teenagers are terrific. Now, imagine you're going on a long flight, okay, and you have a stopover. Okay, there are some people who are loud, who are speaking and enjoying the space at the airport. There are some who would be silently taking out a book and reading. There will be some who are least bothered, earphones plugged in, enjoying. There are some who would be shuffling in their bags. Now, take this teenage as that transient phase, because you know that that stopover is not your destination. So teenage is not the destination, it's just a transient phase. When these children enter into early adulthood, you will see a drastic change in them. What actually you're looking for, that they become responsible, or many other things which will happen. Just have some patience and keep your egos in your pockets.
That's very important. Keep the egos in the pocket and let's embrace each other, right? And let's enjoy each phase. Like when they are getting into teenager, we miss those childhood days, right? So similarly, when they get into adulthood, we'll be definitely missing those experience. And parents listening us out here, definitely enjoy it. They are terrific, not terrible. So, usually in offices and whenever we meet friends, they say that, oh, they're getting into teenagers, so just leave them in their own space. But I think we should embrace each other and ride this journey together.
And you'll enjoy it if you prepare yourself mentally, with the tools and techniques. You will thoroughly enjoy this phase because there is so much of energy exchange, information exchange happening, that this is the perfect time to start bonding, and this bond will help you carry throughout your life.
Beautiful. And saying that, Dr. Deepa, how you as a mother have navigated your parenthood?
Oh, it has been with lots of ups and downs. Uh, but yes, um, I was a person who is a lifelong learner. And this is what began my journey as a parenting coach. So when I keep learning, I go back and refer what's happening, what are the challenges they must be facing as teenagers. Putting myself in their shoes has helped me. Yes, I've had not so good days as well. When my parenting coach hat has gone, and I have become a parent, but working on yourself has helped. Keep working on yourself, evolving yourself as a good human being, and it will reflect in your parenting.
And in your bad days, whom you go for coaching? You mirror yourself?
Yes, I believe a lot in self-talk. So I sit down and I ask myself, was it right? Was it me talking to my child who is in front of me, or is it the child within me?
This is beautiful. In front of me and within. It's a self talk where you differentiate and you identify.
Absolutely. You then come to the root cause why it happened, and then working on it becomes much easier.
Beautiful, and I think it's lovely to know there are so many hats, right? Like as you said when we started the podcast, I said that how many types of parenting are there, and I realize now actually if we group them and segment them, you will be seeing so many categories of parenting, so many categories of parents, and how we map them to our children, and seeing the best solution and having a bonding on. It's not like the same approach suits everyone. It's not one size fits all. It's like every parenting and every parent child relationship is unique.
Yes, absolutely. What you have to do is what's intrinsic to you. What are your core values? What best can you give to your child? Do that. And in the process, you will realize that you yourself have evolved as a human being.
And we all are in the process of learning, and let's enjoy the process.
Absolutely. Trust the process and enjoy it.
Enjoy it. And saying that, I will get into the rapid fire round. Are you ready for it? So, the first question, one sentence that changed how you parented ever.
Assumption.
One daily ritual every parent should try.
Kiss your child first thing in the morning.
Okay, perfect. I was expecting 3x3 rule, but yes, it's the same thing. One thing parents should stop apologizing for.
Not being perfect.
Yes, perfect kills the process. Your favorite parenting book or podcast?
There is no one book I can name because I live by the experiences rather than the books.
Okay. I was expecting maybe you will tell your own journals that you have written or any podcast that you have given, but it's okay. But any referral for a parenting that you really believe or follow?
My own parenting coach whom I've learned parenting from is my ideal.
Okay. One thing you wish your younger self knew before you become a parent?
I wish I knew that I should heal myself before starting my parenting journey to become a mother. If I had healed myself, if I would have understood my own patterns, I would not have projected them onto my children.
Yeah. So knowing yourself much better before you start. Thank you so much. It was lovely knowing you. And I think the tips, the strategies, and especially the communication solution that you have given, they're very simple but very, very impactful rather to understand, like simple things making bigger impact. And as you correctly said, communication is the first. Communication and self-awareness, the first two priorities that every parent should look into to find out what are their priorities and understanding their children.
Absolutely. To end, I would just say that you're doing the best that you can do as a parent. Do not feel guilty. And when you work in awareness, you're trying to connect with your child, help, learn and grow along with them. That is the best gift you're giving to yourself and to your child.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, and it's a pleasure to have you. What's your name and how excited are you to go back to school?
Hi, thank you for having me here. I'm Kashish Vadwani and I am 16 years old and I study in grade 11. And I am pretty excited to go to school. I want to meet my friends, I'm dying to meet them. But at the same time, I'm thinking about the 6 a.m. clock when I hits, I have to go back, I have to get up early. But again, I miss my teachers, my friends, and the various things we do in school, especially during the break times when we just hang out and relax and breathe after such long periods.
But what is one thing that we'll miss at home?
Sleep. I will miss sleep.
And if you want to hashtag your relationship with your parents, what is that hashtag?
For my mom, I would say hashtag #syscode because she is like my best friend. And for my father, I would say hashtag #superhero.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
If this story moved you, don't just scroll. Share it, start a conversation, and subscribe to be part of something that redefines what it means to grow. And if you have an inspiring story, please get in contact with her team, info@reengineeringclub.com.